you got two different groups of people. You got people that are just getting into the sport, and you got someone that's not really sure they're going to hang on anymore. What advice do you have to those groups of people, to the people just coming up and those people that are wondering if they should stick around?
Yeah. Well, I think the advice would be in some ways the same for both, in that if you can really connect with what you love about this. I mean, I understand there's stuff about it that you don't like, maybe you've been in the sport for too long and you're kind of burned out, or too many tandems or whatever, and these are all very common traps. You can notice those things and not fixate on them.
Right.
And likewise, you can notice the positive aspects and not fixate on them too, if you choose. So I urge people to spend more time talking about and almost bragging about how much you love your sport and your role in it. Those are two aspects of the same thing that are
Sure.
important, right? Who are you being when you're on the drop zone? What do you love about that? What do you love about the experience, the specific experience of gearing up, of getting in the plane or whatever? And I understand you're going to be like, well, I hate rushing. I hate that part. No. We're not talking about that right now.
Right.
What you're trying to nurture is your connection to what you love about it, the connection to the sensation of freedom, of the freedom for creativity. The sky is so big, and how much you love just having the ability to just, woohoo, I'm just going to track over to that cloud. I'm just going to, pull high on this particular jump and play around for 20 minutes under canopy. That list, those items are going to be what gets you through the harder times.
Sure.
Your connection to those things will help you to get up from sitting in the field next to somebody who's busted, waiting for the helo to arrive to medevac them out. When you got your hand on them and you're trying to soothe them, maybe somebody's holding a parachute up in the air to keep the sun off of the injured jumper, and you're like, oh, man,
sure.
Why do I do this? Why do I expose myself to something that's going to cause me and other people so much pain? What's the point? Well, that's why you do the homework, to remind yourself of why you do this, right? Because you're going to die anyway.
Sure.
You're going to get hurt. You're going to get sick. All kinds of relationships are going to come. They're going to go. But there is a relationship to your higher self that I want to remind people to sort of draw your attention back into that, and how skydiving has the potential to reconnect you with your own higher self. And
yeah, very much so.
That's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, well, and it's especially in a very pessimistic world that we live in, which seems to be getting more so every day. Having the ability to draw on something like that is amazing. I can't tell you how many times I feel nothing but lucky seeing friends all around the world that aren't involved in the sport, that are so down and so upset all the time, and my general mentality is, holy shit, I still get to do this stuff. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still look at all the negative stuff that's going around and go, oh, this really sucks. But my default is amazement, right. And that's because of skydiving.
Yeah. And the mentality of the adventurer, that is the priority, and not keeping up on the news or whatever, that stuff that just, it's always in the background. It's always there. And it doesn't mean we have to bury our heads in the sand, but it also doesn't mean we have to fixate so much on the aspects that need to be changed. I don't think of it as negative. It's just the aspects that need to be changed. We have to be, somebody's got to be the happy-go-lucky people that are like, what's up with that guy? Every time I see him, he's like smiling. He makes eye contact. I see him at the store or whatever. What's his deal? Yeah. Why isn't he a miserable bastard like the rest of us? In the way that Richard Bach wrote in the book Illusions. There was this river with these creatures living on the bottom of the river, and their entire lives they just held on to the bottom of the river with their legs just sort of dangling, and that was their existence. Or is to be lowly and hang on in the river is this energy that we just fight against. And this one little dude is like, I think that if I let go, I'm going to float up and I'm going to be able to fly. I'm going to be free. And all the other creatures are like, dude, you're going to die, man. You do that, you're going to get tumbled and smashed at the rocks, and you're going to be freaking chum. And he says, I can't take anymore. I can't do this anymore. And he finally let go. And sure enough, for the creatures around him, all they could see was him tumbling downstream. Like, see, told you, freaking idiot. Well, to the creatures downstream, though, he rose up above. And he's swimming around, and he's free. And they're like, look at him, a Messiah, come to save us all. He can fly, he's free. And he's like, no, dude, all you got to do is let go, man.
Yep. That's damn good advice, too. Damn good advice.
So what do you choose? Love or fear?